is excited for NXT. We've got Dominik Mysterio in action. He's going to be trying to get his North American Championship back from Trick Williams. We know that if he doesn't do that, then Mommy has said, don't bother coming home. So we've got that. We're also going to have the fallout from No Mercy. That obviously at the weekend. Big show. We got a new NXT champion. Ilya Dragunov is the new champ. What next for Carmelo Hayes? He was looking at that North American Championship. Certainly looked like he was interested in that North American Championship. So lots going on. Lots of moving parts. Obviously the family have managed to get past 3 other teams. They retain their title, so what next for them? That's going to be interesting to see what challengers step up to Stax and Tony. We've got the women's breakout tournament as well. This is something that they advertised last week, but it was shown during No Mercy. Kind of went through some of the competitors that are going to be taking part. I haven't actually seen an official breakdown for this week's show, so I don't know exactly what we're getting, but I know enough. We're also getting Gigi, Dolin taking on, I believe, Blair, Davenport. I believe that was advertised last week. Obviously, there's been a lot of backstage attacks and things going on of that sort. So, yeah, lots of moving parts, lots of things going on. We've actually got the bracket as well. I can see on the WWE website, the bracket for tonight's women's breakout tournament. So if I can just get this image, save it, and then we can pop it on screen, and I can show you what the tournament looks like. And then we can maybe speculate as to who is going to be the female that's going to break out from NXT. Let's pop that there. Boom. So we can see that we've got 8 women that are battling away to try and win this 2023 NXT Women's Breakout Tournament. So we got Kalani. I don't know what matches we've got tonight, but we will be getting Kalani Jordan against Izzy Dame. We've been seeing quite a bit of Kalani Jordan. I'd imagine she will be successful in that match. Ariana Grace against Jakara Jackson. That's going to be interesting. I'd imagine Jakara Jackson will progress there. So I'm guessing on the one side, it'll be Kalani Jordan against Jakara Jackson. Jakara Jackson, obviously part of Metaphor. We got Danny Palmer against Lola Vice. They got high hopes for Lola Vice. I think Lola Vice is definitely the girl they're going to look to push. So Lola Vice moving forwards. And then an interesting one because Carmen Petrovic and Jada Parker, they're 2 names that I'm not familiar with. I don't know that we've seen any of these girls. So either Carmen or Jada, I genuinely don't know who's going to progress there. I feel pretty good that Lola Vice is going to get to the final from the right-hand side of the bracket. Over on the left-hand side, I think we're going to get Kalani against Jakara. I think we're going to be looking at Kalani getting through to the final. Lola is a heel. I don't think we'll do heel versus heel. That would be Jakara against Lola. So I'm guessing we're going to do Kalani against Lola. And honestly, I don't know who wins that. For me, it's Kalani Jordan, Lola Vice in the final. I'm not sure who takes it. I'm thinking Lola Vice. I know that they're really all in on her. She was actually on stage at the WrestleMania 39 ticket launch. So this was like going back last year. It was a long, long time ago, but she came in with quite a bit of hype and quite a bit of fanfare. And I remember her being on stage. They brought her out as like, you know, WWE's newest signing. And there's a bit of hype and a lot of hope that she can actually go on and kick on to actually be quite a figure in the women's division moving forward. So I'm going to say that they're all in on Lola Vice. I'm going to say that that's the person they're going to have pick up the victory. So Lola against Kalani would be my pick. And I'm going to say that Lola gets the win. Hello to everyone in the chat. Got any Nick said, did you see Jade on the Raw roster? I haven't seen anything, but I've been out all afternoon. All afternoon and all evening, I have been out with family, so unfortunately I haven't seen anything. Let me see if I can jump onto the Fightful website and see what is being spoken about on there. You say that she's reported to go... well, I've got a report here that says that she's going to be at Fastlane, apparently, so this dropped a fair few hours ago now. But Jade Cargill slated to be at WWE Fastlane. So, as I said, unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to kind of catch up with some of the news. By the looks of things, there doesn't look like there's anything massive out there. So I don't think I've missed anything too huge. Jade Cargill looks like money to me, says Rob Van Dam. I don't see what's going to keep her from being a big star. According to Mike Johnson at PW Insider, Jade Cargill is slated to be at WWE Fastlane on October 7th. It's unclear if she's going to be on TV. Fightful is trying to learn more on the situation. The report from PW Insider states that Cargill is tentatively scheduled to be at the WWE Raw and SmackDown tapings. It's unclear which brand Cargill will be a part of, but early word is that it would be Raw. Cargill was active on social media during Raw. The former AEW TBS champion officially signed with WWE on September 26th. Her signing was hyped on SmackDown and Raw. Fightful will provide more details when they are known. So I don't know if there's any more to this story than that, but certainly suggests that she is going to be moving to the main roster. And to be perfectly truthful, that is in line with a lot of the reports that we've been hearing for quite a long time now, that she's going to go straight to the main roster. I've said my feelings on it. I wouldn't do that personally. I would have a go into NXT. I think that you could have a go to NXT, beat Becky for the title. That way she could still go to Raw. If you are that desperate to get her onto, for some reason, the main roster this quickly, and you really want to pull the trigger on her, and you really want to just get going, I don't know where the fire is. I don't know what the rush is about. I don't remember this fire when, like, Finn Balor came in. I don't remember this fire when we brought in Kevin Owens. I don't remember this fire when Samoa Joe came in. Like, they all went to NXT, but for some reason, like, we're really fast-tracking Jade. I don't know if maybe we're trying to, I don't know, save our blushes over the Edge situation. Like, AEW have got Edge, but, we've got Jade. I don't know. For me, like, it's going to be better for her, better for everyone if she just spends a bit of time with NXT. So yeah, but from like very early on, the situation and the story has been that she was expected to go to the main roster. So I can't say that this is a big shock. But yeah, not what I would do personally. I don't see where the rush is. I don't see where the fire is. I don't know why we've got to move so quickly with her. But well, WWE are excited, clearly, and they want to get moving with us, so, fair play. Right, Wrestling Guy said, Daze, you are sound. Wrestling Guy, 232, you are sound as well. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate the support, and appreciate everyone that's joined us this evening. Apologies that we're late. As we said, it's an exception, a one-off, a rarity. But it was like a family member's birthday, so I was all the way over in like Solihull, going for a meal, and then it's taken about an hour and a half or so to get back home, grab something to drink, set up the stream. But yeah, even though I'd like to have been a bit earlier, we've still managed to start before NXT starts, and I think that's probably the most important thing. So big shout out to everyone that's joining us. James said we lost 3-2. I did see that flashed up. I got a notification on that one, unfortunately. Just quickly on the Man United thing, I have had no time to see reaction. I just know the score. My feelings on it are that it's a horrific start, but I am someone that's quite loyal to managers. I was very loyal to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and there was a lot of people calling for him to go, but I was standing by him. And I think that for me, like, you've got to take the rough with the smooth. And I think that there was a good first season there for Ten Hag. I think this has been horrific. I would not be surprised if there was people already calling for Ten Hag's head, but for me, I'm absolutely nowhere near that. I'm absolutely nowhere near that. I mean, there's been, you know, injuries. There's been players that have just been banged out of form. There's just been some just really bad luck. So for me, yeah, a bad loss. Bad start to the season. I don't want to say you can write the season off. I think there's a chance we can still get top 4. I don't know what we can do in Champions League or whatever, but from a Man United perspective, I'm certainly not calling for his head. But yeah, that's a whole different conversation for a whole different time. But wouldn't surprise me if there was many out there that were doing that. But I don't know. I think in times like this, you have to like pull together rather than try and sack another manager. You know, I just think that's the easy answer rather than the right answer. John said, have you seen some of the wrestling content at Fightful overbooked and on the main channel at Fightful Pro Wrestling? No. What I have no idea what most of that means. What is Fightful overbooked? Is that, are we talking Fightful, like the company that report the news? Fightful Pro Wrestling. Is that what they're called? I don't even know. Are they just Fightful? I have no idea. No, I'm not very good at keeping up with like content. Like, I'm not very good at like watching What Culture or watching Cultaholic or watching. I'm aware of these channels and I have nothing against these channels at all. Nothing against them. I think they do great work, but it's very difficult when you're streaming all the time and then doing like your own kind of content. And then certainly if a family member's got a birthday, it's, you know, we were talking about this the other day. We were talking about like, you know, there's a lot of people disappointed about Edge going over to AEW. And I was saying, like, I get it. I understand why people are disappointed because not all of us live the same life. And so there's a lot of people that might have a few hours on a Monday and they can watch Raw and they like Edge. And that's it, he's gone now. And, you know, the easy answer is, well, just watch him on AEW. But that's not possible for everyone to do that. Like, it's just not possible. Some people, like, they can't watch on a Wednesday. Or they're out of or working on a Saturday. So for them, watching AEW it's not an easy solution. It's, you know. And plus, maybe there's just nothing there for them. Perhaps they've watched AEW and they're not impressed. And so Edge has gone there and they're just, you know, not hyped about it. Like, I don't know, it's the idea that everyone should be doing cartwheels and everyone should be feeling the exact same way about like anything is a bit bizarre, to be honest. So yeah, I don't know, the Edge news, my feelings have just not changed. I feel still a whole mixture of emotions around the Edge situation. I did a video on it, which I still 100% stand by. I think it's a great video. I think it's a great video because it nailed how I feel 100%, and my feelings have not moved an inch. I think that the Edge situation is quite interesting because I totally understand why people are disappointed. I totally understand why people are excited. I totally understand why people are confused and they're not sure how to feel about it. So, yeah, that's a conversation which is we're starting to move on from that conversation, but I'd imagine it will come back in a blaze of glory. But yeah, you know, it was a point that was raised there about like how much time do people have, and it's just hard, isn't it? It's hard to find time to kind of watch all this stuff that's out there. Like me now racing back to try and be here with like you guys, which I was desperate to do, so that we could watch NXT tonight. It's hard. It's hard sometimes to like find the time to fit everything in. So no, sadly I haven't. You'll have to let me know if there's some juicy that I'm missing out on. Right, NXT has begun, and we're just seeing some highlights from No Mercy. Just seeing few bits and bobs. Tony dressed as the Mountie, which was probably the highlight of the show, to be honest. You know, everything that went down was irrelevant compared to the fact that Tony looked like the Mountie. That was the highlight of the show. Yeah, we're just seeing a few bits and bobs. Let's go down. Adam said, Daze, WWE has released a 90-second video of DIY hitting the finisher, meeting in the middle 5 seconds after Raw went off air. Oh, good. They owe us that. I mean, Raw ending with them, like, literally mid-move. No idea. Did they hit the move? Did the arena explode? Did they hug after? I've got no idea. I have no idea what happened. So I'm glad they've clarified that with a video on their website. Christopher said, I've been in hospital with my mom. It not good. Does really wear you out. Christopher, I'm sorry to hear that, my friends. Yeah, man, look, there's a lot of people going through a lot of rough stuff. And I'm really sorry to hear you going through a bad spell with your mom as well, bud. So I hope NXT can provide a bit of a distraction, and I hope everything works out for you, my friend. That's tough. That's tough. That's I've been there as well with like loved ones in hospital, and yeah, I hope that works out for you, bud. Wrestling with Andy said, Do you think we'll be the first challenger for the new champ? Well, are we going to move on from Carmelo? Is someone going to distract him? I mean, I feel like there's a few names that could be circling around. We're certainly not short of challengers, but I've got to think that we'd be looking at a rematch with Carmelo. I don't know, is Braun's going to be tied up with Von? So Braun and Von are clearly on a collision course. So my other answer to that would be Baron Corbin, because I think Baron is, done with Braun Breaker now, because it's going to be Braun and Von. Baron Corbin is a great challenge for Ilya Dragunov, a big name, one of the biggest names in NXT. I think that'd be a good little feud, actually. So Dragunov against Baron Corbin, we could be looking at that. But I don't know that we're moving on from Carmelo Hayes yet. Right, the show has started, and we have started with Big Time. Big Time is in the ring. Big Time Becky Lynch. Big Time. Big Time Bex. Now, this is going to be really interesting because Big Time managed to get a victory over Tiffany Stratton. Very hard-fought victory. 11 stitches required. Who's next? You're next. Was hoping for Jade. Was hoping that Jade was going to make her presence felt, but I could see her going one-on-one against Lyra. I don't know what we're doing with Cora Jade. I haven't seen any word on Cora Jade, but I could see her against Cora Jade. So Becky says, the man is not medically cleared. Woo! I made sure Tiffany Stratton wasn't either. The man isn't medically cleared, but I made sure that Tiffany Stratton wasn't either. Let's go. Every time I step in the ring, every time I'm going to give my all, I want my opponent to do the same, and Tiffany did just that. Told you all. I told you all I wanted to represent this title. I want to defend it everywhere. Okay, she's talking about night 1, Halloween Havoc. I know I've got a roadblock ahead of me of Tegan Knox. Is this Lyra? That's Lyra's music. Let's go. Oh, God. Someone's attacked her backstage. Look at her trousers. Oh, my God. Oh, no, it's a skirt. I thought they were jeans. I thought they were jeans, and someone had absolutely savaged them. I thought it was like one of them trends. You know, those trends that those kids are into. Turns out it's a skirt. Okay, so Lyra, your debut kickstarted my career. I know you know you're the man. But do you realize... Oh, she's going to cry. Look, Becky looks upset. Do you know what you've done for people back home? Do you know what you've done for me? I'd love it if she said nothing. Do you know what you've done for people back home in Ireland? Nothing. Scum. Oh, Jesus. Get a room. Get a room, Lyra. Get a room. Do you know how inspiring you are? No. I was always able to push that bit harder because you. Oh, God. Buy a ticket. Go to a meet and greet. You became the first woman to main event WrestleMania. And all these years later, big time Bex chant. All these years later, my career came full circle. She's talking about being proud of teaming with Big Time. So Lyra said she wants to know what it's like standing face to face with Big Time. Who cares if she thinks you're ready? Smack her in the face. I don't know if you think I'm ready. Becky. Becky says you're ready, but as she says you're ready, someone else makes their presence felt. Indy Hartwell. Nah, what's she doing here? What's she doing here? Has she been sent back to NXT? Nah, don't like this. Don't like this. She's meant to be on the main roster with Candice and Johnny and Tommaso and The Way and, do you know what I mean? Having good times. We all got emotional when she went there, and then they've done nothing with her, and now she's back to NXT. What's this? Okay, she said you can do Mondays and Tuesdays, so can I? These people watch me grow up. I got married where you're standing. And now I'm back for something I never lost. Oh, God. Don't know how I feel about this. Don't know how I feel about this. Daze, I've sent you Tiffany's tweets. A Tiffy tweet. A Tiffy tweet, James. Right, here's Roxanne Perez. Indy Hartwell, I'm still not over it. Oof. Happy Tiffy Tuesday to everyone except Becky Lynch. Happy Tiffy Tuesday to everyone except for Becky Lynch. Roxanne's come out. There's Tiffy. Moody. I want. There's boos for Roxanne. Cheers for Roxanne. There's cheers for Roxanne. Yeah, I feel that way. I feel that way. Boo! Boring. So, hang on. Indy Hartwell has gone to the main roster. And now she's got to be in a #1 contenders, like, triple threat for the NXT title. What's going on? Yeah, triple threat. Winner will face me at night 1. Big Time throws the microphone down. So hang on. Let me get this right. Lyra comes out, very emotional. It would be a pleasure. Do you know what you've done for the people back home in Ireland? It would be a pleasure. It would be a privilege if we could compete against each other. And then some other boomers come out. Yibbity yabba. And then she's like, nah, I have a triple threat. I'll just face the winner. Thanks, bye. Feels a bit moody, man. If I was Lyra, I'd be like, oh, just pulled my heart out. just basically told you I loved you for about 20 minutes. You're going to make me go into a triple threat. Right, we're just seeing some of the women that are going to be in this women's breakout tournaments. Oh, man, I don't know. What do people think about Indy being back in NXT? I mean, I don't have a problem like Becky going back to NXT because, I mean, she's been away. She's made a name. She's had incredible moments. You know, she's a big star. She doesn't need NXT. But like Indy Hartwell, who got called up and has done pretty much nothing, now finds herself going back to NXT. I mean, it's just a bad look. That's a bad look. That just sort of seems like they've had a little look at her and gone, oh no, she's not ready. But then, you know, if they've looked at her and said, oh, she's not ready, I'd rather they put her back in NXT than release her, you know? Tyler Bate and Butch, they're going to be in action. Indy called up to the main roster. They had her vacate the belt, was not used on the main roster, and is now sent to NXT to challenge for the belt she vacated. This is vintage, WWE, said JB. Excellence of Execution said, I don't think Indy is going to be staying. Trini said, Daze, Indy back in NXT. It's just part of the story with Becky. Brony said they teased Indy Becky in an exclusive video on the YouTube channel. Why is she back there at all? Don't get it. Why is she back there at all? Well, I mean, like, I didn't see this exclusive video. I haven't seen any teases between Indy and Becky. So, to me, it looks like she's come back. To me, it's not a good look. To me, right now, it looks like she's gone to the main roster, vacated her title. They've not done anything with her, and they've gone, you ain't ready. You ain't really ready. I know she said, like, oh, if you can work Monday and Tuesday, like, I can as well. But, I don't know, man. I don't like it. Even if it's just a little thing, I don't like it. It seems unnecessary to me. It either seems like she's not quite ready and she needs to just spend a little bit of time in NXT or something, or they just ain't got anything for her creatively, and so they're putting her back in NXT till they do have something for her creatively. If you get called up, you're called up, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? What are we doing? What's this? What's going on? Don't like it. Don't like it. I think it's a Becky Open Challenge. We do not have a lack of open challenges these days. No, there's loads of women, man. Loads of women down in NXT. We're drowning in women in NXT. Jeremy said, last night, Becky told Indy to come to NXT and see her tonight. Indy being back doesn't make any sense, says Daniel. Rio said, Daze, they did that with many people. Who? Who have they done that with? Who have they done that with where they've called them up and then put them back down in NXT so quickly? Don't go giving me Mustafa Ali, because he was on the main roster for a long time, doing a lot of different things. So who is it that they've called up and brought back to NXT so quickly? Don't go giving me Finn Balor. Because when he went up to the main roster, he won the Universal Championship, didn't he? Indy Hartwell hasn't won the Universal Championship, has she? So I don't know. I mean, maybe it is just nothing more. Maybe it is just nothing more than we haven't got anything for her. And so we're just using her whilst we're just waiting. She's just, kicking around in catering. And we're just trying to find something for her. But, oh, God, come on. Let's find something for her on Raw, shall we? You've called her up. So let's do something with the girl. If it is just a one-off for some reason, don't know why. If it is just that Becky's just stirring up the pot, like, give me Tegan, give me Indy, and she's just going to call out a load of women. She's not bothered. I'll have them on Raw. I'll have them on NXT. Okay. Still not crazy about it, but okay. I'd much rather see Indy answer an open challenge on Raw rather than have to go down to NXT to compete for a title which she already vacated. Why am I meant to be excited about Indy going after a title that she dropped? Why am I meant to be excited about Indy going back down to NXT to compete for an NXT title when she got called up? I don't get it. I don't understand. If you are loving it, God bless you. God bless you. Indy did do Saturday night's main event for a dark match, said George, on Raw. I guess she's doing main events. They sent Ali back and you was okay with it, says Real. Yeah, Real. But if you're going to compare Indy Hartwell to Mustafa Ali, then we're going to have words. Because Mustafa Ali was on the main roster for a long time before he went back down to NXT. They tried so many things with Mustafa Ali on the main roster. So many different things, and they just couldn't quite find the thing that worked. What have we tried on the main roster for Indy Hartwell? I'll wait. We've called her up. We've done nothing, and now she's back down in NXT. In no way does that compare to Mustafa Ali, who went to the main roster. We tried lots of different things. We all remember Retribution, don't we? We all remember Retribution. We all still have nightmares about Retribution. And it didn't work, and it was a load of rubbish. And then they've gone, well, do you know what? Let's put him back down in NXT. And I don't know if they were putting him down in NXT because they wanted to try and find a new gimmick, or if they were putting him down in NXT because someone knew that he was going to be on a chopping block. And they thought, well, let's just put him down there, keep him out the way. I don't think that's what happened. I think they put him down in NXT to try and reinvent him, and then he just happened to get cut anyway. So I think that, for me, this is not in any way comparable. Right, Gallus are making their way out now. We've got Tyler Bates and Butch. Should be Pete Dunne. Taking on Gallus. We're just seeing Dirty Dom backstage. Dirty Dom has got to be victorious tonight. Otherwise, Mommy has said to him, don't come home. Right, we've got some Fastlane merch on screen as well. Fastlane is this weekend. William, shout out to you. Hope you are well. James said it was reported today that Ali was going to win that North American title at No Mercy, and HBK was surprised that he was let go. Yeah, I remember seeing the media call where he was saying that he was like really disappointed, HBK, and they had plans for him in NXT going all the way through to like March. I completely believe that no one said to HBK and no one said to people down in NXT that he was on a chopping block. You just wonder if like whoever made that decision, because I don't think Sean has got the ability to take people from the main roster and say I'll have them, right? So I do just wonder if someone that made that decision, I do just wonder if they knew and sent him down there, because they, Dana Brooke went down there as well. And so did the person that sent them to NXT, which could have been Vince. Could have been Nick Khan, not sure. Did they know that, a few months down the line they were going to get cut anyway? Or was it just a case that they were trying to reinvent them, find something new for them, and then the cuts came, and because they didn't have anything for them, they were just easy to cut? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what came first, to be honest. Right, Wolfgang in the ring. Edward, shout out to you. Said, are you doing KSI against Tommy Fury next weekend? Well, I don't know, to be honest, because my priority will always be WWE, because we do that every week on a Monday, on a Friday, on a Tuesday, of course. So if it's clashing with Fastlane, then the answer would be no. If it's going to be a case that we can do Fastlane and we can somehow do the other stuff as well, which I think might be a bit tricky, because if you're telling me it's next weekend, or is that this weekend coming, like the next weekend or the weekend after that? Either way, it's Fastlane this weekend, and if we can squeeze in KSI Tommy Fury, then we will certainly look to accommodate it, but Fastlane's the priority. Tyler Bate working on the arm of Wolfgang along with Butch. Wolfgang going down. Godfather's Ho, shout out to you, said, Daze always dranked. I'm lifted. What you gonna do when the sticky of icky is passed to you? Will Swerve be the first... Oh, Swerve. Will Swerve be the first black AEW world champion? Too soon for MJF. Who's next for Swerve? Well, I'm not sure who's next for Swerve, although his name was mentioned by Edge, or Adam Copeland. So it could be that Adam Copeland is got his sights on Swerve. I don't know that means he's next, but Swerve just managing to get past Hangman. Could we see some rematches there? Doesn't feel like Swerve has got enough momentum or hype at the moment to get that world title. So I think we've got to do some building, to be honest. He's managed to get a win over Hangman. I think we need him to get some wins over some other high-profile names first. Keep building him. And then, it took MJF a long time to get built up to be ready to be the world champion. Could Swerve be the first black world champion? He certainly could. Trying to think what other black wrestlers there are that could achieve that. You've got Powerhouse Hobbs, but he's a bit missing in action at the moment. Trying to think who else is around. There's not really many names that jump into mind, so could be Swerve. I really do like Swerve. I've got no problems with us building Swerve and pulling the trigger on Swerve. I'm a big fan, so yeah, he could be. In regards to what's next for him, I just think he needs big names and he needs to beat them. I think that you can't afford to mess around when it comes to Swerve. You've got to pull the trigger on Swerve. You can't, give him 50-50 booking and anything like that, because he doesn't feel like a massive star at the moment, because we haven't seen him, consistently in consistent feuds. So we need to see more of him, and he needs to be picking up wins. And then, building his profile and then moving on to the title. So I like him. I would get rid of Brian Cage in that group. Just don't think it looks right. I don't mind. Is it the Gates of Agony that are with him? Swerve with the Gates of Agony, I think that's fine. Brian Cage, I don't know, something about it just doesn't look quite right for me. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on why exactly, but every time I see Brian Cage, I think it's because Brian Cage, he doesn't just stand and act like a monster. He looks like a monster, but he doesn't necessarily act like a monster. He's a bit too eager for me. He's a bit too active. I'd like him to be a bit more hanging back, I think that I would get him out the group. I would just have it as Swerve and the Gates of Agony. Have them mess a load of people up. Have Gates of Agony picking up wins. and then like Swerve going after like some big names. He picks up wins, gets some momentum, see him on a regular basis. Fast forward about, it's probably going to be 6 months. I don't think we're anywhere near him going after a world title and winning it. So yeah, build him up for like 6 months or so, and then eventually we should be at the point where we can pull the trigger. So yeah, I'm all on board, but it's going to take a bit of work. Brian said, if there's nothing else on the 14th, I would imagine Daze will do KSI Tommy. Yeah, I haven't looked. I mean, my priority this weekend is definitely Fastlane. And then after that, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what we've got coming up. So, as I said, I will always look to prioritize the WWE pay-per-views, because 3 times a week we're watching WWE shows. So, be a bit wild to then not do the pay-per-views. We did try last year, actually, where if there was something big on at the same day, I would do the UFC and the boxing here, and Tommy Toy Travels would do the WWE watch-along on the Wrestling Escape Pod channel. And that was okay. It was okay. I think it was a bit too disjointed. Tommy killed it. Tommy did a fantastic job, but I just think that, I don't know. Our main community is definitely a WWE community. So, and understandably so, because we watch 3 shows a week. So, yeah, my priority will always be to try and do that. And then after that, obviously, it's just going to be what the biggest events are. So, yeah, it could be Fastlane this weekend. And then if we can do KSI Tommy the week after, we will certainly look to do that. Right, we was at commercial break, and we are just seeing Tyler Bate and Butch in action against Gallus. It is kind of fun to see Tyler Bate and Butch tagging together. Obviously, they were part of British Strong Style, but that did also involve Trent Seven. Trent Seven no longer with WWE. Gallus down at the moment. Double knees there by Butch. Butch going back over to the corner, looking to run over and deliver a knee strike. And Coffee on the outside of the ring. Butch grabbing a hold of Coffee, looking to throw in some shots. And raining those blows down by Butch. Kashawn said, what are your thoughts on WWE fans calling Edge a sellout, a traitor, for leaving WWE to go to AEW? We've touched on this a few times, and my feelings are that I understand fans being disappointed. Kick coming in by Coffee as Butch goes down. One, that won't get it. Kick out by Butch. Yeah, I understand WWE fans being disappointed, and I can understand as well them looking at the idea that there's not a war is just very, very naive. It's very naive. I understand that Edge is trying to lower the temperature, and I said this in that video. I understand that he's trying to make it acceptable for WWE fans to watch AEW as well, right? And he's trying to lower the temperature. He's trying to say, look, it's just wrestling. It doesn't matter what company it is, right? And that is a notion that is shared by many wrestling fans. But the point I keep making, and the point a lot of people keep making, is that, well, when you've got Tony Khan publicly saying that they're at war with WWE, and you've got Triple H as well, who has not shied away from being offensive towards AEW, right? It's very difficult then for someone to come along and say, guys, why can't we all just get along, when you're looking at Triple H and Tony Khan firing up the fan bases, making out that it's a war, right? So I can understand why fans are disappointed that Edge would go to WWE's main rival. I totally understand it. I totally understand. Here's Tyler, 2, 3, and it's a win for Tyler and Butch. So yeah, I get it, but if you read what Edge said in his tweets, and I don't know that everyone did, so this is why you've got people saying he's a traitor and all this stuff. I don't think they read his tweets. If you read his tweets, is that going to be Ridge? Ridge Holland has come down. I don't mind these three, you know, as the new British Strong Style. Like Ridge, Tyler, Butch, as a new trio. I'm definitely down for that. Drop kick there by Tyler. Gallus going out the ring. Headbutt there by Ridge. Shoulder tackle, and Coffee goes to the outside. Do you know what? This is pretty good, man. The 3 Gallus boys taking on Tyler, Butch, and Ridge. Let's go. So, yeah. If you read his tweets, he said that he wants to do more. He wants to do more. And WWE didn't have more for him to do. So, you know, what's he meant to do? What's he meant to do? Just accept it? Or is he meant to go to a company that will, you know, use him more? I don't think him wanting to wrestle more and WWE not having more for him, I don't think that necessarily makes him a traitor. I understand that to a lot of fans it might feel that way. I understand. But not to me. I don't. There is disappointment that's there because there's still matches I wanted him to have in WWE. I wanted him against Gunther. You know, I wouldn't have minded to have seen him win another world title, right? If you saw that reaction when he came back to WWE, like, you know, that was the excitement that everyone had. And it's one of the biggest pops when he comes back at the Royal Rumble. And then he goes on and has, you know, some really good matches, starts the Judgment Day. Faces Randy Orton in the greatest wrestling match ever, which was like a cinematic thing, which was really good. You know, he's basically, you know, impressed and pleased the fans. This return, I think, will be looked at quite fondly. Maybe not perfect, and maybe it could have been a bit better, but I don't think it was a disaster by any means. I think we did quite a bit with him whilst he came back. Even that match with Sheamus in Toronto was brilliant, really enjoyable. So even the match he leaves on was a lot of fun. So, you know, you've got all these WWE fans that are loving it and really excited. And a lot of these fans don't watch AEW. A lot of these fans don't like AEW. Like, AEW gets 800 and something thousand on Dynamite. Raw will get 1.7 or 1.6. And SmackDown will get 2.2. So there's a lot of people that just don't watch AEW. And you could say, well, start. But there's a lot of people that have watched it and gone, don't like it. This isn't for me. And now he's gone there, you know? So are they going to watch the show for just one segment? They're going to start watching just to see what Edge is doing. Like, you can understand why people are disappointed. Because they're like, well, I don't want to watch AEW. It's not a promotion I find enjoyable. And now they're meant to be happy about it, apparently. So, I don't know. For me, I totally get why people are disappointed, and people are disappointed for lots of different reasons. I totally get why AEW fans are excited. I totally get why wrestling fans are excited, because there's many, many people that enjoy watching WWE, and they also enjoy watching AEW. And for them, it's no bother. You know, I've seen plenty of people come out saying, well, I just love wrestling and I watch the wrestling and it doesn't matter to me if he's on WWE or if he's on AEW. Well, that's great. That works for you, but it doesn't work for everyone, right? It doesn't work for everyone. Not everyone's living your life. Not everyone's feeling the exact same way you are about all these different promotions. So I get it, man. I totally get it. And this preaching that's out there of people telling everyone else how they should be feeling, like, for me, I feel a whole mixture of emotions. I feel a bit of disappointment. I feel a bit of excitement because we watch on a Wednesday. So for me, if it's going to make Dynamite a better show, that's brilliant. That's better for me. So I'm excited from that perspective. And I think there's some great matches for him in AEW. Like, he can go up against Swerve. He can go up against Kenny Omega. I mean, the promo back and forth between him and MJF. Like, yeah, man, I'm definitely there for that. So for me, that bit's cool. But, you know, there's disappointment that WWE couldn't find a way of keeping him around. There's disappointment that we won't get that match with Gunther. And I won't see him against Ilya Dragunov, or I won't see him against Bron Breakker, or I won't see him trying to win that world title. You know, that world title he's going to go for now is going to be the AEW world title. Which, you know, okay, fine. Doesn't quite feel the same to me as him going after like a WWE world title, but if you want to get into the detail, into the minutia, if you really want to get into the weeds, you can make the argument that he's probably not going to get Roman's. He would get Seth's, and that just got created out of thin air not that long ago anyway. So how much value is there to Seth's belt anyway? You know, if he got Seth's belt, what does that mean anyway? So I don't know. There's a whole lot of conversations that can be had around it, and as we said, we have spoke about it already quite a bit. But I just get it. I just get it. If you're excited, I get it. If you're disappointed, I get it. If you're angry, I get it. If you're excited, I get it. Like, I just get it. I understand. There's a whole range of feelings out there. It's just pretty wild, like the way that people are telling other people how they should be feeling. It's just pretty wild, isn't it? That's the world that we live in now. That's social media now. We've all got to apparently feel the same way. Here's Ilya Dragunov. Ilya's making his way down to the... in a lovely suit. Look at this guy. Hey? Look at this guy. Ilya Dragunov in a sharp suit, baby. The man. What a match. What a match. I'll tell you what, everyone should be feeling the same way about his match. It was a banger. Okay, Ilya Dragunov then in the ring. Asib said, Daze, as a WWE fan, are you worried about WWE star power decreasing with the passing of Bray and Edge going to AEW? No, I think WWE's power, if you will, is very much in their initials. You know, people tune into Raw without really knowing what the card even looks like. It's quite often that we would only get a couple of matches announced. I mean, you know the rosters, and chances are they're going to put the roster on the show. But no, I mean, if stars are going, it's just going to create more TV time and opportunity to build other stars. I think there's a great wave of talent that's coming through, and there's one of them on screen right now. So even if they don't have the star power yet of an Edge or whatever, you know, you put them on TV time and put them on pay-per-views and build them up, like, you can certainly get somewhere with them. Look at Bianca. Bianca's a big star now. Look at Becky. She's a big star as well. So there's a lot of people that have come along since, I don't know, 2015, 2016, the past 6-7 years that have gone on to be massive stars. It's just a constant cycle, isn't it? People coming in and out of the company. But WWE's power is in those 3 letters. You know, that is they are established as the market leaders. So yeah, no, I'm not worried about it. I think where we do lose some people, it just creates opportunity for the next wave, the next generation to come in. We've got Roman, we've got Brock still. I know they're part-time, but we got Seth, got Kevin, got Sammy. We're seeing what we're doing with the Usos. The right storyline can take people that are kind of around the mid-card and get them up to the main card, so no, it's fine. Not worried about that. Okay, Dragunov in the ring. He said he's going to protect the promise that he is going to long live the Tsar. He's going to be a fighting champion. Going to fight with passion. Someone's making their way out, and it is Trick Willie. Let's go, man. Bout it, bout it. Mr. Bout it, bout it. Whoop that trick. Booker likes doing that now, doesn't he? Whenever Trick Williams comes out, Booker always goes to that, uh-huh. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Here's the North American champion. Hello, Mitchell. Shout out to you. I'll get to your comment in a sec, buds. Kaylin said, Daze, Ilya looks great. That match was a banger. It was a banger. I completely agree, my friends. Okay, here's Trick. Congratulations. He's congratulating Ilya. Just won a championship. Okay, so Trick Williams just interrupting the NXT champ now. Dragunov applauding him, though. Oh, he's come out to say thank you. The crowd are chanting, "You deserve it." This new Trick Williams that everyone sees and everyone loves, it's because of you. That's nice. You best believe I'm only going up from it. He looks great, doesn't he, Trick Williams, by the way? He looks great. Dragunov said he's proud of Trick Williams. You whooped that trick. I'm proud of you. You whooped that trick. Oh, I'll tell you what, there's a bit of a bromance going on, and that's not going to be appreciated by the former NXT champion, Carmelo Hayes. Here we go. Carmelo making his way out. It's got a little bit of a hobble going. Hang on. Well, am I slipping? What's going on? Melo getting in the ring. You said you'd fulfill your destiny, and you did exactly that. But Trick. Carmelo said, I've been telling you your championship material. What are you thanking? What are you thanking Elia? I'm proud of you. It's all right. Calm down. It's all right. We came up together in front of all these people. Trip Mellow Gang, yeah. Winning that championship is amazing. Winning it is amazing, but defending it, that's a completely different thing. Dragunov says, "What? Oh, it's getting a bit snappy here. Oh, it's all getting a bit heated." This is a conversation between champions. Yeah, get out the ring, loser. Where's your belt? Dragunov backing up then. Chick's like, don't do that. Don't do that. No. Let's not go down this path. Elia, you're cool, man. Don't do that. You need to focus on Dom, said Carmelo. Is that who's coming out now? Little bit messy in regards to, there's a lot of things being said. There's a lot of dynamics at play. Here's Dominik, though, but some fun little exchanges in there as well. Dirty Dom, man. Pressure's on him tonight. I'm not expecting him to win that title back. Loud boos for Dirty Dom, as you would expect. Dirty Dom making his way down. I don't know where Elia's got. Elia's, like, vanished. He's got, like, supernatural powers. Do you always take your orders from your mommy? Don't worry about what mommy said. You need to. He needs to. He needs to be very worried about what mommy said. Trick Williams going to whoop that ass tonight. I promised mommy. Again, he's trying to talk. Crowd are booing. Whoop that trick. I promised mommy I'll bring back that gold. Carmelo said that ain't happening. You know this guy don't roll alone. Oh, Carmelo said, I've got your back tonight. Does he? Does he? You're still in Mello's shadow. 6'4", 240. You're still in Mello's shadow. Trick says, I'm going to have to decline your offer, Carmelo. I won this title by myself. I'm going to defend it by myself. Yeah, but Dominik might not be by himself. Oh, Trick, you might have just got played. Hard, that is. Tricky for Trick. Tricky Williams situation there. Right, we're just seeing how Indy won that championship back in just April 1st of this year. And then she relinquished it in May. Indie wrestling. Okay, well, looks like we're doing that triple threat now. Okay, so we've got a Raw graphic for Indy Hartwell. Indy versus... Oh, it's 3, wasn't it? It's Roxanne, who was getting a few boos, man. Roxanne was getting heat earlier. I think it's hard, to be honest, for Roxanne, because I think that Lyra was cutting such a passionate promo that... and then Indy came out, and there was surprise to that. Like, when Roxanne came out, it was just hard for her to compete because, like, she was having to compete with, like, a shock Indy return moment and then also, like, a passionate Lyra promo that I think is just kind of hard at the moment for where Roxanne is for the crowd to kind of, like, get with her. Had it have been, like, 2 hated heels, like Kiana James maybe being one and maybe Lola Vice being the other... I'm sure if Roxanne had come out at that point, then Roxanne probably would have got a very different reaction. So I think it was more about who had come out before her rather than anything to do with Roxanne. But yeah, it was interesting. She weren't getting like crazy positive people dancing in the aisles reactions when she came out, which is something we have been seeing her get in the past. Right, so Wrestling Guy 232, shout out to you, my friend. Really appreciate the support, Wrestling Guy, with an emoji of a sweating face. Hope everything's all right. Hope the aircon's working, my friend. I think there was some heat to what we just saw, but as I said, there was a lot going on in there as well, so... But, you know, we got somewhere with it. There was a lot of points being made. We know where we're going with Trick and Dominik. We know that Carmelo offered to be in Trick's corner. Trick's turned it down. Is he going to regret that? Mitchell said, is it concerning that Imperium, Judgment Day, Bloodline, Damage Control are all having dissension? Well, is it possible we're having too much dissension? Well, I think the rule kind of in wrestling is that you don't have any friends, you know. Pretty much if you're friends with someone, 99% of the time it's going to end in disaster in the wrestling world. Normally all factions will come to a breakup. Certainly there are exceptions, I think, of New Day, for example, where Big E did leave, but he only left because of the draft, and New Day have continued without like there being any big fallouts. But to be honest, lots of people, myself included, did want to see Kofi against Big E and there be like a heated feud. Like that does feel like a feud that we could have got, maybe should have got. I'm not sure how people feel on that one, but that was one that I was quite excited for, to be honest. like Big E turning heel and turning on Kofi and turning on Xavier, or maybe Xavier being the one to turn. But we never got it, or at least we haven't got it yet. So, I don't know. I think where you've got factions, I think to a degree you're always going to have dissension and fallout and things along those lines. Can happen at different points, though, can't it? You know, maybe it should be that it's not all being told exactly the same way at the same time. I think about the Shield. I don't remember when the Shield broke up. I don't remember there being like bickering and arguing. It was just out of nowhere, Seth with the chair. Bang, you know? And it was a bit of a surprise. It was a big moment. And yeah, it was definitely something that had impact. And as I said, it had kind of come out of nowhere. I mean, I think it was only like the day before, the night before, they had been in action against Evolution in like a 6-person tag. Big epic war. And everything seemed like they were all on the same page. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes to these groups, I think you're always going to have dissension. You could make the argument that maybe we don't have to do it the exact same way for all the groups. Maybe they could all be, like, there could be a group that's working together fine, and then they split just out of nowhere. But 99% of these groups are going to split at some point, you know? Right, we are underway with Lyra and Roxanne and Indy Hartwell. So this is #1 contenders triple threat match. Winner will face Becky at Halloween Havoc. Gerald said, love that last line from Dom. You're 6'4" and a champion, but you're still in Mello's shadow. It's good. I mean, because that was actually a line that I think Trick was, interested in having Carmelo around. I mean, it does make sense. Carmelo doesn't really, Dominik doesn't really tend to do these matches on his own. Mommy as well did have a go at Damian Priest, didn't she? And say, like, it's your fault Dominik lost that title because where was his help? Like, why was you not there to help him? So, you know, we saw just yesterday on Raw, Rhea basically saying, like, you know, you have to take your fair share of the blame for Dominik not being champion anymore. So now he's trying to win it back. You would think he's probably not come alone. So for Trick to turn down Carmelo's help could be a bit silly, to be honest. Okay, we've got Roxanne being thrown to the outside of the ring. Little uppercut there by Indy. Kick to the side of the heads. So, Gerald, shout out to you, buds. Hope you are well. Kian said, Daze, hope you're doing good, having a good stream. Last night, your reaction was priceless when they were just about to go off air. You wanted to see DIY reunite. I really did. I genuinely really did want to see them reunite. That was like the money shot for me. Was, you know, it's one thing Johnny coming down and helping Tommaso, but I really wanted to see them either hug or shake hands or do like some sort of acknowledgement between the two. You know, that to me would seem like the moment. So I wasn't bothered about seeing like the end of that move. I don't really care about seeing them hit like moves together. I wanted to see that moment where, like, you know, Imperium had been dealt with. And then they hug or they shake hands or there's some sort of acknowledgement between them. And yeah, it was a bit frustrating we didn't get that. But, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? I mean, it's quite rare that WWE get those kind of timings wrong. So it's an exception. It's a rarity. I'm sure it'll feature on Botchamania, though. It's really not often that we get shows ending with mid-move, you know? It was a bit quirky. Lyra going through the ropes, looking for a drop kick, looking to try and drop kick Indy Hartwell. Kicks coming in by Lyra. Indy going back by the ring steps. Chucky needed to get heel heat, said Gerald's. Becky is looking good tonight, says Brian. What if Dom is a good wrestler and he's been hiding it? Playing like he's just trash, says William. Calvin said, how come WWE kickoff shows don't do matches or even battle royal matches anymore? Was it that they didn't have enough time? No, I don't think it was anything to do with time, to be honest. But I think that it's more to do with the fact that they just want to use that time on social media to just shout about matches that are coming up, right? They want you, that show, the purpose of that show is to basically bring people up to speed with matches, why they're happening, talk about them, give their predictions. We see quite often now on screen, they'll have like Booker T picks and Wade Barrett picks and Kayla Braxton picks, and they've started to do more of that stuff now, like predictions, actually give their thoughts as to who's going to win, rather than just here's the video package, here's how we got to the match. Like, they'll now break it down a bit more, and so I think it's just a change of what they're using that time for. It's as simple as that. They would much rather use the hour to, and I would imagine that there'll be some data that kind of backs up that the kickoff shows have, resulted in X percentage buying the pay-per-view. X amount of people watched the kickoff show, and it resulted in this many pay-per-view sales. And there'll probably be some data that says that the kickoff shows are now being more effective at getting more people to buy the pay-per-view shows, which would say this is the right way to do the kickoff show. It's not great if you're a fan that watches every week because you already know the story of how the matches have come together. You don't need those recaps. But I think they're just more casual, fan-friendly. So if you're someone that doesn't watch the show week in, week out, or you're someone that watches once in a while, and you might have missed part of the story, here's the whole story. Here's how we got to the match. Here's who we think's going to win and why. And now they try to do that for each of the matches, and that just takes the full hour. So, and I don't think there's much of an appetite to do like a 2-hour kickoff show or anything like that, so that they can fit in matches as well. So... yeah, it's just a change, isn't it? It's just a change in approach of what you use the kickoff show for. So, I don't know. It doesn't massively bother me. I mean, I think that we have had some good matches on kickoff shows before, but I think we have to say that, a good chunk of the time, most of them matches are just throwaway. Most of those matches, I don't think they're going to be making many people's match of the year contenders. But there has been occasion where we've had... some really good matches on kickoff shows. That'd be a fun little video. The top 10 kickoff show matches would be a good video for someone to make if they haven't made it already. I think the WeLC was a kickoff show match. Hornswoggle against El Torito. It was one of the most infamous matches in WWE history. Like, I'm pretty sure that was on the kickoff show. So, yeah, but most of the time they're just a bit throwaway. Forearm strikes being exchanged by Lyra and Indy. Miss Clown said, never fear if brick dust is near. That's Gold Dust's brother, isn't it? Brick Dust. Brick Dust. Over in the corner goes Lyra. Indy in the ring. Pace of this is slow. Lyra, what's going on? Indy looks lost. Indy definitely looked lost there. She was wandering around and then she turned around, saw Roxanne up top. Roxanne just took a bit of a second to do that crossbody. Roxanne colliding into Indy, and Lyra launches herself at Indy. Russian leg sweep. 1, 2, shoulder up. Trini said, what culture? Wrestle Talk have done that list. Top 10 pre-show matches. Well, there we go. It's been done. Scrap it. Scrap it, boys. It's been done. I need some meds, says John. I would love to see a mole on a pole. Jadam said, WeLC was a kickoff match. It's known for being funnier and better than it had any right to be. It was great. Really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I've seen a few shoot interviews about that match, and Hornswoggle was saying, like, they knew that everyone thought it was just going to be this joke, and they wanted to, like, shove it up people's backsides, basically. Like, you think this is just going to be a joke? We're going to give you a banger. So, you know, he was properly giving everything he could. So was El Torito. El Torito was really skilled, actually. Really, really good. Quite explosive. And, yeah, they put on a really solid match. And then you've got a real strong supporting cast as well. I mean, you've got Drew McIntyre, who was in 3LB at that time, 3MB with Heath Slater and Jinder. You had Primo and Epico. Like there was some decent wrestlers that were in both of their corners, which was a good supporting cast, which meant that there was a lot of bumps and a lot of fun spots, and it is remembered very, very fondly, that match. Very fondly. Mattel actually made a battle pack where you could get both figures, both guys as figures, and lots of little accessories as well, like a little ladder and a little chair. It's cool. Kicks coming in by Lyra. Mitchell said, Daze, could you imagine if Eddie was still with us? How do you think he'd interact with Dom? Also, should Vicky ever been brought back to help Dom? I don't think you need Vicky. I mean, you could have her if it just depends on the creative, doesn't it? I don't think you need her right now, what with him being in Judgment Day. If he finds himself outside of Judgment Day, you could always get her to come in and, like, be with him. Because it would certainly fit the character and the story. So it's a decent shout, but she's not needed right now. In regards to how would he interact with Dom, hard, innit? I mean, I don't know, because there's lots of different ways you could take it. You could have Eddie coming in trying to reason with Dom and trying to get him to, like, you know, reconcile with Ray, or you could have had Eddie coming in, like, stirring the pot. Like, I would think Eddie would probably be more inclined to stir the pot, right? In my mind, Eddie would say to Ray, look, we'll fix this. Don't worry. Like, we'll fix this. And then, like, he goes out there, just keeps putting his foot in his mouth. Just goes out there and, like, keeps making it worse. Maybe intentionally or even unintentionally. But, I think him saying stuff that doesn't help. I could see it being something along those lines. But obviously, sadly, no longer with us. But it would be amazing if he was still around and we could use him. Maybe he'd still be wrestling. Not sure. Obviously, Ray is still competing. Big boot by Indy. Indy back against the ropes. Charging over, going after Roxanne. Roxanne flipping Indy over, going for the cover. And is that Kiana? Kiana James grabbing Roxanne, pulling her out the ring. Kiana gets booted by Big Time. Lyra is up top. Lyra is coming crashing down on Indy. 1, 2, 3. And it's a win for Lyra Valkyria. So Lyra is going to be progressing. She is going to be competing against Big Time for that championship on night 1 of Halloween Havoc. Now, the question has to be, is she the one? Is she the one? Because when Becky came down to NXT, Lyra was definitely the name that I was thinking. She was definitely the name I was thinking of who would get that title from Becky. Lyra got to the final of that tournament to try and crown the new women's champion. It got down to Lyra and Tiffany Stratton, and it was Tiffany Stratton that was victorious. But we know that Lyra, for a while now, has been right in that conversation. You know, she spoke about... Oh, here's Tegan Knox coming out. Tegan making her way down to the ring. Why is she having a go at people? What's up with her? She's got her shot next week. But did Tegan just come down to NXT to have a little go at Becky, who's gone out of her way to make sure she gets a title shot? Braun, the best spear in the business. We got Carmelo and we got Braun backstage. When you lost on Saturday, they immediately started chanting for Ilya. No more Carmelo chants. No more he is him. I can tell that's bothering you. The frustration. The rage. Take it from the most dominant NXT champ of all time. Use that frustration. Braun is trying to convince Carmelo to embrace that frustration. This is good. When you lost on Saturday, where was Trick? Oh man, this is good. Look, Carmelo's listening as well. You had to go and find him, didn't you? Oh my God. Yeah, man, that's good. That's good. I really like that. I really like that. Because Braun's making some good points, saying as soon as you lost, they started chanting for Ilya. Where was the Carmelo chants? Like, I went through that as well. Use that frustration. Just like he's used that frustration. So he's trying to, and I like heel Carmelo Hayes. I think, you know, going around calling yourself him. And I said at the weekend as well, like, showing off, like, names of people that you've beaten is quite a heel thing to do, to be honest. Bragging is bragging. Bragging about all the people that you've beaten. Quite often you'll see faces, like Becky earlier, like, saying about how tough it was competing against Tiffany and whatever, you know? It's not often that you see a face come out and, like, have, like, names of previous people they've beaten. It's not often that you get that. So I feel that Carmelo is quite a natural heel. And I really don't mind us going in that direction. Don't mind us going in that direction. Mitchell said, do a poll. Does Melo turn tonight? Does Melo turn tonight? It's a good shout, actually. I'll tell you what, whilst I'm putting that poll up, you lot can decide on your halftime scores. Everybody, it's the halftime scores. I really want to know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores. Everybody, it's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores. Everybody, it's the halftime scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this. Kian, shout out to you, buds. Kian said he watched and enjoyed the Wrestling Escape Pod this evening. Yeah, a very different episode and not the episode we would have done had we have been live. But we did play a dating game. Oh, man, it was so much fun. We played a dating game ages ago and had a load of fun with it, but we didn't finish it. And so we finally got round to part 2. Finally got round to part 2, and that part went up tonight. And there was some genuinely funny stuff, I thought, in that. And I thought it was funny at the time, but I obviously edited it as well recently, and I was chuckling away to myself. So, yeah, I hope anyone that checked that out enjoyed it, and we should be back to normal next week. A.B. Jobson said, I think Nakamura is going to win at Fastlane. Kieran says 6.6. Do you remember Tegan's dad, Mike? Mike Knox. Yeah, Mike Knox. Good guy. Good guy. 6.5 said Mr. Tahil fan. 6 said wrestling guy. 5.5 said tingling. Green beans. Hashtag LA night for US champ said 7. Aaron with a 6. Dark Angel says 420. George Flog said 6.7. Kaylin said 6. Draco said 6. Terry said 6.5. Jim with a 7. Marty with a 7. Mitchell said I'll go 6.5. Mr. Quake said 6.5. Billy said 6.8. We got all these scores coming. Oh, it's an advert. I thought we were getting a vignette there, but it was an advert for a car. I was like, oh, this looks classy. Turns out it's an advert for Jaguar. Green Bean 7. Danash 1. Danas 1 1. Danas 1 1. Danas 1 1. Says 6.5. Megan with an 8. Michael said, it's just me who stay 1. Michael, shout out to you. Kashawn said, if Shinsuke doesn't win the title against Seth on Saturday at Fastlane, what's going to happen to his momentum? It'll be deaded. Yeah, I mean, it'll be a problem because he will have had 2 opportunities and against someone he claims is a weakened opponent because of Seth's back troubles. So, yeah, that would definitely be a problem for his momentum. But I think what we have found is we've found a version of Shinsuke that is probably the best that we've seen on the main roster. There's been a couple of other times. I enjoyed his feud with AJ Styles, like when they were competing over the championship. So there's been a couple of moments, but really, considering how long he's been on the main roster, not many. Here's Baron Corbin stepping up to Ilya. Outside of Mello, I'm the only person that's beaten you. History has got a nasty way of repeating itself. Baron coming off a win as well. This would make sense. I took on Badass Braun Breaker and I put him down. Let me give you some advice. Baron says, get as many pictures as possible. So, Baron making his intentions clear. Coming out next, we got Blair Davenport. Blair Davenport making her way down to the ring. She's going to be taking on Gigi Dolin. Seth is going to win, and then Damien is going to cash in, said Suicidal Pop-Tart. Okay, we are working our way towards... There's not long left, you know. There's actually not long left. Gigi Dolin attacking Blair from behind. Gigi jumping out the ring, going after Blair, throwing in some shots. Big strikes to the midsection. Look at all the smoke, man. You can't even see them. But the flip's going on. Is there a fire? Everything all right? That is a lot of smoke. It's like Elba and Isla have come back. Back in the ring goes Blair Davenport. Gigi Dolin attacking Blair. From behind, against the ropes goes Blair. Big shot coming in by Gigi. She's got Blair over by the ropes, and Blair is being stretched. Gigi with drop kick. Kick right to the back. Against ropes again goes Gigi. Oof. Another drop kick. Looking for the cover. 2. Kick out. Gigi going over. Putting the pressure on Blair Davenport. Mitchell said, where is all that smoke coming from? I have no idea. Ilya Dragunov because he's on fire. Oh, double stomp to the back there by Blair. Referee just checking on Gigi, seeing if she's all right. That looked vicious, man. Oof. Going for the cover. I tell you what, this is quite hot between these two. Knee going in right to the back there by Blair. And again. Kick coming in by Blair. Gigi trying to get back up to her feet. Headbutt. Shot to the midsection. She's grabbed a hold of... Oof, jeez, did you see? Oof. Oh, my God, man. Did you see the intensity? Twisted the arm round, hurled Gigi down. Gigi was like, poof, straight down onto the mat. And then she followed it up with a double stomp to the back as well there by Blair. Not a bad little match this so far. These two really going at each other. Blair going against the ropes. Oof. Looking for a senton as Gigi moves out the way. Shot coming in there by Gigi. Both of these women exchanging blows in the middle of the ring at the moment. Forearms being exchanged back and forth. Gigi stumbles back a little bit as she throws in another shot there. Kick to the midsection by Blair. Kick coming in by Blair. Dragon screw. Dragon screw. Charging over. Clothesline. Blair goes over the top to the outsides. Gigi goes underneath that bottom rope, face first, into the commentary table. Blair grabbing a chair. Blair with a chair. Chair Blair. Again, trying to smash Gigi with it, but Gigi moves out the way. Kick. Throw in. Blair back into the ring. Shot coming in there by Gigi. Knee strike again there by Gigi. Clothesline. Down goes Blair. Another clothesline. Down goes Blair. Clothesline and Blair goes down. Sunny, hello. Shout out to you. Gigi looking for the pin, but kick out by Blair. Gigi looking a bit frustrated at the moment. These two have been fighting inside the ring, outside the ring. It's had fairly nice pace to it. We've tried a few little bits and bobs. We've got a chair that is being introduced. Surely that'll DQ her. No, this isn't a no DQ match, is it? Is the ref there? Where's the ref gone? Where's the ref gone? What was the ref doing? Why took the ref so long? Blair trying to use that chair. The referee grabbing a hold of it. Roll up by Gigi. 2, 3. Silly. I don't know why the refs have to get involved. I keep saying this. If someone uses a chair, disqualify him. Why did he have to try and grab the chair and prevent it? Because by doing that, he allowed Gigi to roll up Blair and get the victory. It's negligence. It's negligence in the workplace. That's what it is. Gigi picks up the win, but because of how she achieved it, I suppose it still sort of protects Blair. Why can't we get good officials, eh? What's going on with VAR in football? You got VAR in football that's just faulty. Got WWE referees that are getting involved. Who did we see kicking the other day? Oh, it was Aubrey, was it? We saw a ref the other day, like, you know, they love it. They love it. I think most referees are failed wrestlers, aren't they? They just love getting involved. They can't help themselves. Right, we're backstage with Kiana James. So she says that Roxanne walked through the doors the same day I walked through the doors. Breakout tournament starts tonight. Oh, yeah, it does. It's my mission to make sure the world sees me above Roxanne Perez. Not hard, because Roxanne's pretty small, actually. What? Huh? What? Asuka on NXT next week. Well, do you know what? Next week is the week that they go up against AEW and Edge's first match. So next week, Kiana just said, if Roxanne wants a match with me, she can have it, but she's got to get past this opponent first. And said that Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, is going to be on the show next week. Let's go. Asuka? I was not expecting that. That feels... I'm trying to figure out if that is a video. They said there was no company war. It's right there, said George. It's right there. Mystic Miss said it's sad that Ali was scheduled to win the North American title but got released. Brony said, what's going on? There's a war, Brony. Don't you know? There's a war. You have to pick a side. This is where we are now. Battle lines have been drawn. There's a war. Bishop said, I've got a quick question. What is your favorite wrestling movie? That's a good question, that is. Well, my answer would be a bit dull because I would definitely pick a documentary. But you'll probably say, oh, you can't have a documentary. And I'll be like, why can't I have a documentary? Because a documentary is a movie. And you'll be like, no, but I didn't mean that. I meant like, you know, Condemned or See No Evil. And I'll be like, yeah, but I don't like those as much as the documentary. And you'll be like, yeah, but that's not the game. And then we'll go round in circles for a long time. So I'm going to cut that out. And I'm going to say documentaries are excluded. So if I can't say a documentary, right, and it's your fault I can't, then I will go with... Well, when I was a kid, I went to the cinema to see Suburban Commando and Mr. Nanny, so they do have a soft spot in my heart. I have no feelings towards the Marine series. I have no feelings towards See No Evil or Condemned. I have no feelings towards The Chaperone. Fighting with My Family was pretty good, though. The Page film. That was pretty good. Trying to think if there's any others. Can't really have Rocky 3, can I? It's not really a wrestling film, is it? It's got Hogan, but probably doesn't count. Would They Live qualify with Roddy Piper? Don't know. If They Live qualifies, I think that's a hard one to beat, to be honest. With Roddy Piper. I'll go that. I'll go that. If anyone knows of any others that are in the run-in that are better than They Live, I'll definitely, I'm definitely here to hear of him. I do like fighting with their family, though. I do like that. But my honest answer would be a documentary. I love documentaries. Love documentaries. So, I mean, like, so many great WWE... Some they specialise in. I mean, they just kill it on documentaries, don't they? There's a Bruno one that's brilliant. There's an Alondra Blaze one that's brilliant. Both, I think, are on the network. But, I mean, you can watch, like, the true story of WrestleMania. Like, that's amazing. You can watch Beyond the Mat. That's amazing. You can watch Walking With My Shadows, the Bret Hart one. That's amazing. Like, those, to me, are the correct answers. Booker said it's a shucky ducky quack quack moment. Mitchell said, think I'm going to choose Southpaw Regional Wrestling. That wasn't a movie, though. That was like a little TV thing, wasn't it? Here's the women's breakout tournament. There's Lola Vice. Oh, jeez. Calm down. Lola Vice. I think she's winning it, which is my pick. There is Danny Palmer, 3-time national champion in acrobatics and tumbling. You can be a champion in tumbling. What's that? There is Santino's daughter, I believe, Ariana Grace. We have seen her before. She's got a Miss NXT sash and crown. That must be like part of her new gimmick. Jada Parker, I have not seen much of that girl. National champion at softball. Softball champion. There's Jakara. Vogue runway model. Vogue runway model, really? I didn't know that about her. She was a Vogue runway model. Carmen Petrovich, 3rd degree black belt, US Open champion in karate. Serious? Here is Kalani Jordan, 3-time Michigan State Gymnastics captain, 5-time academic All-American. And there is Izzy Dame, professional volleyball player. This is a bit Tiffany Stratton-esque. Fun, good. First match starts now. And I think they said the first match is going to be Kalani Jordan against Izzy Dame. We broke the tournament down earlier. I got Kalani against Lola, so my bracket might be busted straight away if Kalani doesn't win here. If Izzy Dame picks up the victory here, my bracket's broke already. So I've got Kalani against Lola in the final with Lola winning. Kalani versus Izzy. Boom. Suzanne said, I saw Countdown the other day. It was pretty good. Dolph and Kane were in it. Michael said, Knight, Rhodes, Jay, Gunther, Roman go to NXT for a night. They could bring ratings. Yeah, man. If they put Roman on next Roman on next week's NXT. That'd be pretty fun, wouldn't it? Right now we're seeing Kalani getting chucked against the ropes. Samantha Irvin tried out at the PC before she became a ring announcer, said Smurfy Tunes. Ah, fun fact. Big knee strike there by Izzy Dame. 1, 2. Kalani kicks out. The red hair reminds me of Eva Marie, said Travis. Don't say that, Travis. Don't say that, mate. Daniel said you do need to do that video on Asuka. Could be right. I was waiting to see if they were going to put a graphic up. They didn't. I thought that would make like a good image to use, but they haven't put one up. And now it's been a few minutes. So I just don't know what to do anymore. I just don't know what the right thing to do is now. But yeah, that certainly feels like the biggest news we've had so far. Well, and also about Lyra being Becky's next challenger. Well, in NXT. Her next challenger is Tegan Nox. Kalani is over on the outside of the ring. We got half an hour to go. 1.5 hour tribal court on NXT next week, yeah. Let's go. Yeah, 1.5 hours of that, and then we'll have half an hour of Asuka against Roxanne Perez. Right, the room that was being used, they love tournaments now, don't they? Oh, they love a tournament. Oh, NXT loves its tournaments. Didn't we just go through the Heritage Cup tournament? Well, the viewing room for the Heritage Cup Invitational is now the viewing room for the Women's Breakout Tournament. Have we had the Dusty Cup this year? I don't remember the Dusty Cup this year. What happened to the Dusty Cup? Did we have it? Have I missed it? Have we had it? I'm going to Google it. Dusty Rhodes Cup 2023. Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. That's the one. That's what I was thinking of. There has not been one this year. Oh my God. There was one in 2015. There was one in 2016. There was not one in 2017. There was one in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. But there has not been one in 2023. What the flip? Drop kick. Creed brothers were the last to win it. February 2022. Kalani is up top. Crossbody. 1, 2. Kick out. Last Dusty Cup with the Creed brothers, says Michael. You are correct. And also, for the women, Kaylee Ray and Io Shirai. There we go. I do vaguely remember that. I seem to recall Io was doing something with Nikita. And then I think an opportunity came along for her to join up with Kaylee Ray briefly, and they ended up winning the tournament. Over the top, drop kick there by Kalani. Bouncing up. Split leg. Oh, she's hit that beautiful as well. I love the split leg. That's nice. That's nice. Split leg moonsault is sick. That's like extra level skill compared to just hitting a normal moonsault where you stand there and like go backwards. I mean, definite skill involved in that. But split leg moonsault is seriously impressive. Really don't see many people doing split legs. Boom. Oh, man. And it was picture perfect as well. It looked great. So Kalani Jordan picks up the victory, picks up the dub, and continues to move forwards. She will face either Ariana Grace or Jakara Jackson. Well done, Kalani Jordan. And Izzy Dame, I mean, she certainly did better than I thought she would. One shopping spree doesn't make you a grown-ass woman. Try again, said Elektra Lopez. Okay, looks like there was a bit of back and forth between Thea Hale and Lola Vice. So is that a match we're getting? Okay, there's Thea backstage warming up with JC Jane. Mr. Chase wants to be in Thea's corner. That might not be a bad idea. JC said, actually, that might be a good idea. Why? Why is she on board with this? Oh, I don't trust her. I know enough about women to know that I don't trust her. So it's going to be JC and Thea taking on Elektra Lopez and Lola. So it's going to be a tag match. And Andre Chase and Duke Hudson are going to be ringsides. Thea wasn't sure, but she said, whatever you say, I trust you. Okay, how long have we got? We've got 25 minutes, and then there will be a bit of an overrun. Michael said, I feel like Jade Cargill and Gunther winning the Rumble this year, and both go for Raw World Championships. Kaylin said, Chase U and Thea Hale are awesome. Puff Dutch said, AEW's women's division is trash. NXT's better. Maybe the reason Tony Khan doesn't put much into it. Baddie Sarah said, Tiffany is the next Charlotte Flair, but with more sass. Ooh, bit more sass. Bit of that. Little bit of that. Yeah, man, she's got a bright future. I think there's some really great women doing some really great work in NXT. I think there's some really great men doing some really great work as well. I think there's lots of great people doing lots of great work in NXT. So for many people, this is their favorite show of the week. And yeah, it's been more than acceptable this week. I think it's been really solid. And we are working our way. I don't even know what the main event is, though. I'm not sure what I'm working my way towards. Oh, Trick and Dominik, of course. Of course. The whole don't bother coming back if you don't win stuff, yeah? Ooh, I'm not thinking he's going to be winning. I don't think he's doing it. So we've got this women's tag match. Don't think this will take too long. And then we move on to our main event. Trick Williams against Dominik Mysterio. Trick has said to Carmelo, I don't need you. Dominik is probably not on his own. Is he going to regret that? I don't think we're putting the title on Trick Williams just for like a few days. I've got to think he's going to retain. But as was pointed out earlier, are we going to see Carmelo turn heel? Could we see that happen this week? So lots of questions around that main event. I'm excited. So excited I forgot what it was. Tom said, I think AEW's women's division is better than NXT, but Tony just doesn't use it. Smurfy said, I just want everyone to have fun. Trini said, I'm not going to complain about more women for obvious reasons. Mr. Quake said, I miss Cora Jades. Where is Cora? Well, we saw her many moons ago saying that she was done packing up her stuff, storming out of the locker room. Didn't she have, like, really, honestly, didn't she get her boobs done? I think she went and had her boobs done, you know. Just what I've heard. You know, I haven't looked or anything. But, you know, not bothered. Just saying. Just heard. That's what I've heard. Apparently, you know. Either that or she's been eating her greens. There's been a bit of a growing spurt. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how that works, to be honest, but there's been some movement. That's what I've heard. That's the word on the street. That's the word on the street. There's been a little bit of movement in that department. I would imagine they're quite tender right now. So it's probably that. It's probably that she's gone off, got some new boobs. They're quite tender, like chicken tenders. And she's resting up. And then she's going to come back, her and her new boobs, and dominate the women's division. But she did. I had to inspect them, said Miss Clown. Right, it's confirmed. It's been confirmed. Miss Clown inspected them, so let's go. Let's go. Thea and JC taking on Elektra and Lola. Let's go, Brian Pillman. Boobies, says Sunny. Sunny, thank you. Right, here we go. We've got this kind of weird elevator thing, which is pretty cool. I wish they came out the elevator doors, though. That's my big criticism. I think if you're going to have it, like, where it feels like we're going in some sort of elevator, like, having the doors open, but they walk out from the side, like, could we not stretch to having, like, some elevator doors that they actually walk through? Is the budget just not there? Lola with a smile on her face. Elektra Lopez. Thea Hale. Having a little dance, having a little shimmy as well. Against the ropes goes Thea. And again. Nice. Headlock takeover by Thea Hale. There was lots of shimmer in that. Could you imagine Cora Jade doing that little shimmer with her new boobs? Jesus Christ. Imagine that. Shots coming in there by Elektra Lopez on Thea Hale. Thea Hale down. Going for a cover. 1, 2. Kick out by Thea. Lola Vice and Elektra Lopez against Thea Hale and JC Jane. Let's go. Beyond the Mats. Good. Great. They're saving the budget for next week to beat AEW, said Joe Bugs. Yeah, I bet next week we get actual elevator doors. Can't have them this week. You'll have them next week. Everyone's coming out to Pyro next week. Everyone's coming out to the same kind of firework display we do at WrestleMania. We're going big time next week. Big time. Thea Hale trying to get back up to her feet. They will have Cora do that move next week for 2 hours. It's going to kill the ratings, man. We are going to the moon. Two hours of Cora Jade and her new boobs just going. Whilst us pervs sit here going, oh yeah. What's AEW? Oh, yeah. That's going to be such a sick watch along next week. I can't wait. Big shot there by Lola to JC. Shots coming in by Thea, though. Coming up next after this, the North American Championship rematch. Trick Willie taking on Dirty Dom. Over in the corner goes Thea. Lola tries to splash into Thea. Thea trying to get over to JC. Trying to make that hot tag, but no joy. It's going to jump, makes it. Boom. Hot tag made. In comes JC. Boom. Down goes Lola. And again. Kick to the midsection. JC stumbles momentarily. Oh, wow. Lovely Inzaguri kick. Step up Inzaguri. Lola in the corner. JC charging over. Collides into Lola. Beyond the Mat pulled the curtain back on wrestling and exposed kayfabe. It changed the wrestling scene for me, says Kevin. It did. I don't know if that is the documentary that did it. I mean, Vince actually, you know, the reason that they got such access was because Vince allowed them behind the scenes. I think that there was already like shoot interviews and there was already like the internet. I want to say that film came out about 98. So I think there was already like stuff that was out there. But I think that film did open a lot of people's eyes. Certainly gave us more access than we'd seen before. Yeah, it's quite an important little movie that in the history of wrestling. I don't know that we can like say like that is what blew it all open. I think there was quite a few things that were kind of going on at that time. There was shoot interviews and other bits and bobs that were happening, but that was, I agree with you, that was certainly the kind of biggest glimpse behind the curtain that I had seen up until that point, definitely. And I think from that as well, you know, people just wanted more of that type content. And now, you know, it's everywhere, that kind of thing. But maybe not with that same access, you know? I mean, we were seeing, like, behind the scenes literally just after the Montreal Screwjob. I mean, incredible. Well, here's Mello. It's a win, by the way, for Thea. She got the Kimura. Are you taking Bron's advice? He spoke to John Cena. He said he spoke to John Cena. Next week. John Cena is on NXT next week. Oh, what? John Cena is coming to NXT. John Cena is coming to NXT. He's going to be in the corner of Carmelo Hayes. Oh, my God. Remember, guys, there is no war. There is no war. This is all just fun and games. This is all just lol. We're just doing this for lols. We're just doing this because it's just the natural thing to do. I think we all saw Carmelo talking to Bron Breakker and thought, oh, this will have John Cena involved. John Cena! John Cena! Ba-ba-da-ba! Mitchell said, what the heck? John Cena next week! John Cena next week! On NXT? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, and Mommy's here as well. Mommy is here as well. John Cena! Ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba. NXT next week, man. We eating good. We got Asuka and Cena. Probably Roman will come out. Gerald said, Edge and Cena forever rivals, even in rating. Yeah, true. True. Forever rivals. What has Tony started, says James. Well, I don't know, man, but NXT are trying to finish it. Right, you're going to have to excuse me for a second because I was heavily debating whether to do a video about the Asuka news earlier. There's no debate about this one. Because we've got a graphic, baby. Massive news coming out of NXT. Look at this graphic and then look at it again. Because it is true that next week on Tuesday, NXT, Carmelo Hayes takes on Bron Breakker, and in Carmelo's corner will be John Cena. Obviously, we know next week is going to be the week that AEW Dynamite moves over to Tuesday, so it means that NXT needed to put something on that was going to respond to that. There is going to be a ratings war, a ratings battle next week, and wow, WWE are certainly not going to go light on AEW or just try and put a bit of a show together and hope for the best. They are bringing in John Cena, and not only that, earlier in the show they announced that Asuka was going to be competing on next week's NXT as well. So we know that John Cena is on the show. We know that Asuka is going to be on the show. NXT next week is stacked, and it is stacked for a very good reason. It is going up against AEW Dynamite, and NXT is not in any mood to lay down. It's fire in it. It's fire. Remember though, guys, there is no war, right? And I know this is true because Edge told me. Woo! John Cena! That is exciting, Matt. It really is exciting. I mean, John Cena is a massive name, and I know he's on SmackDown, and I know we've been seeing him. But for him and someone of his magnitude to be on a show in front of how many people? 200, 300 people? Like, when do we get to see John Cena do anything in front of a crowd of that size? Probably a meet and greet, right? But for him to be at ringside, actually, like, you know, cheering on Carmelo, and, like, I would imagine they'll get him to do I can't imagine he'll just come out and wave. I'd imagine he'll say something. He'll do something. He'll get involved somehow. Sure, something will happen. So, big time. Maybe big time will probably be on the show as well. I mean, we've already got Becky as the women's champ. She'll probably be there. Becky will be there. John will be there. Asuka will be there. I might as well just call it, like, Raw 2. Also, let's go. It's breaking news. It's sweeping the world. John Cena will. What if the crowd start booing him? Oh man, what rating is that going to do? Well, it's going to be massively affected by Dynamite. Even with Cena, it's going to, you know, Dynamite's going to take attention. It's Edge's major announcement from Cody Rhodes next week. What? Cody Rhodes is on the show next week. Oh, we got to redo the video. We've got to redo the video. Oh my God, I wasn't ready for that. Oh my God. Asuka's, oh my God, we got to redo the video. I just did the video. It's a rubbish video. It's a broken video. Please, guys, remember, please remember, there isn't a war. Stop it. But also, Cody Rhodes is on NXT making a major announcement. Because that's where all the major announcements get made by main roster talent. Oh my God. I made a video, didn't I? And I wasted your time. I wasted my time. I'm a disgrace. I should be banished from the YouTube world. But who was expecting that? I wasn't expecting that. There might be another announcement that gets made. Perhaps they're going to somehow try and get Andre the Giant on the show as well. What? That trick. Oh, it's party time, man. It would be party time if I had all the graphics I needed. Asuka versus Roxanne Perez. Oh my God. I feel sick. Old news video. Yeah, breaking news video in an old news video. I hope that other one didn't get uploaded, you know. Bang. Bang. Hang on. Bear with me. I know this is about as fun as watching paint dry, but, well, that's just every stream, really. Right, time for another video. me. Just gotta make sure we're in the right headspace. And does that graphic fit? It does! Massive breaking news coming out of NXT, and look at this graphic. John Cena is going to be on the show next week. Now, we know that they are competing against AEW Dynamite. Dynamite is moving for, I believe, 1 week only to a Tuesday. And so NXT have responded, and they have responded, because look at this. Carmelo Hayes against Bron Breakker with John Cena in Carmelo Hayes' corner. I have no idea how this came about, right? Carmelo, to my knowledge, I don't even know if he's ever mentioned John Cena before, but he may have. But yeah, this is clearly a response to AEW. And if you are in any doubt thinking, well, no, maybe it isn't, perhaps this is something they had planned, well, this isn't the only thing they've announced. They've also announced that next week on NXT, we are getting Asuka versus Roxanne Perez in a match. Next week on NXT, we are getting John Cena and we are getting Asuka next week on NXT, and I'm sure Becky Lynch, who is the current NXT Women's Champion, I'm sure she is going to be around as well. And I know what you're thinking. Well, no, maybe that's still not quite enough. That's still not enough. Maybe this was planned. Maybe this has got nothing to do with AEW. Perhaps NXT were going to do this anyway. Well, it doesn't stop there, because they also announced that Cody Rhodes is making a major announcement. Wow. Look at that, a major announcement. Normally, major announcements only get made by Tony Khan, and normally they're underwhelming. But next week, we're actually getting one on NXT, and it's being made by Cody Rhodes. So that means on next week's NXT, we potentially have Becky Lynch, Asuka, John Cena, and Cody Rhodes. There is no way that is not a response to AEW. So, wow, next Tuesday is looking absolutely monstrous. Absolutely monstrous. And I still don't know if more may get announced. We've still got a little bit of time left as we're recording this of NXT. But we knew they were going to go big next week. We knew they were going to have something up their sleeve. They announced Asuka earlier in the show. Wasn't expecting the John Cena news, and certainly wasn't expecting the Cody Rhodes news, but it's big news, it's massive news, and this really is going to shake up the wrestling world next week. And what is that announcement going to be as well? A major announcement by Cody Rhodes. What is that announcement going to be? So, yeah, can't wait, can't wait. Next week's NXT is looking goated. I did so well. I did so well. I did one video that's had to be binned, and then I had to like go again, right? I did a great job there. In my diary, I'm gonna put today was a good day. I ain't got a diary. Right, let's go and upload this little thing and get it out there. That's big news, isn't it, man? Big news. We are underway with our main event as well. Cody's major announcement is got Tony Khan fearing for his life, says Ray. Oh, that's good, Ray. That's good. John Cena, Asuka, and Cody Rhodes on next week's NXT. WWE responds to AEW, because it is a response. Breaking news. Breaking news. I am in good spirits, man. I love that lineup. And you know what? If you're a fan of wrestling, you should love that lineup as well, because that has got to inspire AEW to go big. They're already going big with Edge having his match. Edge is having his first match on that show. And so I would imagine they're going to have to... add other things as well. Mitchell said next they're going to call it NXT All In. NXT All In, but they're going all in. It would certainly fit. NXT All In. Good. That other one didn't upload. I got away with it. No one will know that I botched. I bet Judgment Day will announce that they're going to be on NXT. Well, they can't because I've done the video now. No more announcements, please. Trick versus Dirty Dominik Mysterio. We've got Finn Balor. We've got Damian Priest. We've got Rhea Ripley. We've got full Judgment Day in attendance. So Judgment Day are in the house. Stomp coming in there by Dirty Dom. Cody versus Roman next week for the title. Yeah, yeah. The announcement is I'm going to face Roman Reigns tonight. And then he's going to win the title, and Roman's title reign's going to come to an end next week on NXT. It's the natural way that this is going. Whoop that trick. What? Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Right, Trick over against the ropes. But they'll be calling New Day against Brawling Brutes. I am fine if we don't get that, to be honest. Right now, Dominik is in control. We are in the overrun at the moment. We are in the overrun. Crowds are booing away. Trick Williams is going to need a Herculean effort here tonight, says Vic Joseph, as Dirty Dom is firmly in control right now. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Okay, so another suplex by... Oh, landing on the feet. Oh, lovely. Lovely net breaker there by Trick. Whoop that shit. They're making noise, man. They are rocking in NXT. Probably because most of them know they're going to be there next week to see this monster show. Against the ropes goes Dirty Dom. Big kick there by Trick Williams. Planted, Dirty Dom. Again, he's looking for a net breaker. Goes against the ropes. Trick Williams. Super kick coming in by Dirty Dom. Dom looking to go against the ropes. He gets planted down by Trick Williams. Stomp coming in by Trick. Can he do it? Can he retain this title? It's going to be very difficult. Plenty of people around. Kick out by Dirty Dom that are looking to get that belt back for Dom. The belt is thrown into the ring. The Women's Championship is thrown into the ring. Oh, he gets nailed. Dirty Dom nails him with that title. Trick gets his shoulder up. Trick gets his shoulder up. Whoop that Trick. Looking to roll him up. 1, 2, kick out. He doesn't want to let down Mommy. He's letting her down at the moment, though. Trick Williams is down. He's looking to slingshot over. We've got a few minutes left to go. Boos are raining down at the moment. 619 connects by Dirty Dom. 619 connects. Knees up there by Trick Williams. Frog splash. Doesn't connect by Dirty Dom. Knee coming in there by Trick. JD McDonough arrives. JD McDonough arrives. Trick's trying to deal with everyone at the moment. The Money in the Bank briefcase is brought into the ring. Oh, he gets nailed. There's too many people around, man. How's he going to overcome these numbers? Dominik's going up. Big frog splash. 1, 2, 3. Dominik's retained the title. Wow. Wow. Dominik has retained the North American Championship. Wow. There was just too much. There was too much. Do you know what? There was so much that it probably wouldn't have felt realistic if Trick had managed to find a way of keeping that title. Dirty Dom has got his title back, and people are going to be absolutely thrilled by that news. That is gonna play very well. People are going to be absolutely giddy about that news. Let's go, said Master of Fakes. Goat alert, said Aubrey. My boy got his belt back. NXT, it really is cooking at the moment. It really is cooking. And you know what? Even though he's got that belt back, and there'll be people that are down on it, it doesn't bother me. I mean, why is Paul Heyman here? If he's about to announce Roman after I've done a video. The bloodline has to reciprocate. Okay, so Heyman. Heyman will be there. Up close. In person. In Bron Breaker's corner. Next week. Heyman. Okay. I thought they were about to announce Roman. Smile on the face of Paul Heyman. Redo the video. No, I think it's just Heyman. I think it's Heyman. I think we can cope with the video where it is. If it's only Heyman that's missing, okay, would be nice if it was in there. I agree, but I'm not sure. If it was Roman, it's redo the video territory. If it's Heyman, which I think it's Heyman, then I think it's just. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I'll just put it in the comments. Oh, P.S. Heyman's there as well. FYI, just so you know, Paul Heyman's there as well next week. If it was the tribal chief Roman Reigns, though, I'd have to redo the video. And I honestly, I've already been a hero today. I've already redone it. I've given it my all. I mean, it's that people are watching it. You know what I mean? I can't redo it again. Right, well, there we go. I definitely missed a few super chats and things which I need to go back to. I mean, mental, just mental. I feel like this show was really solid. It was really enjoyable. I was having a lovely time with you lot, my friends. And then the show just went banana. Like, the show just went, by the way, just vomited up awesomeness for next week. And just when you thought it had finished throwing up, it threw something else up as well. So, incredible. I need to get to the super chats. I need to get back to the live. Let's get to the live. So, let's end the poll. Let's do a new poll. And let's ask the question. What are you watching next Tuesday? Yeah, so this is the question to ask, isn't it? Are you watching NXT? Are you watching AEW? Or are you watching both? Or maybe neither. Perhaps you're going to miss them all. Perhaps you're busy. Don't know. There we go. New poll is up for you to vote on. Let's just get to these super chats. Mitchell said, guys, calm down. Cena is only on NXT next week because he needs developmental work, not because there's a war. Yeah, that's true. Calm down, everybody. It's just Cena trying to better himself. It's just Cena trying to improve his wrestling abilities. Next, they're going to call the show NXT All In. That was good. That was very good. Erasure Mind said Shahid Khan on NXT next week as well. That would be a blow, wouldn't it? That would be a blow. I reckon next week they should... everyone that competes on the show next week should be wearing Jacksonville Jaguar shirts. Fulham shirts and Jacksonville Jaguar shirts. Just like that. What? George Vlog said, guys, please remember that Adam Copeland said there was no war. It just happens that the biggest stars are on a developmental brand next week. There is clearly no connection between those two things, is there? There's clearly no connection. Gerald said, Champ X Con. Oh, yeah, God, that's probably a video as well, isn't it? I mean, in all fairness, Dominik just got his belt back, and we did a video yesterday saying if he didn't, he could be out the Judgment Day. I actually thought he wouldn't get the belt. So, do you know what? There might be another video, but it's not a redo video. Massive news. John Cena, Asuka, Cody Rhodes. I think Becky Lynch as well, but I don't know if they have announced her. And Paul Heyman all on NXT next week. Well, I tell you what, I don't know what AEW had planned, but they're going to have to, they're going to have to bring everyone, aren't they? They're going to have to bring everyone. It's going to have to be Kenny and the Elite, and it's going to have to be everyone. It's going to have to be Jericho. It's going to have to be Danielson. They're going to have to make, like, dream matches. It's going to have to bring everyone. And even then, you ain't competing against John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Two of the big, well, short of it being Roman Reigns. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Feel free to put in your scores as well. John Cena. Tell you what, that'll make tomorrow's AEW quite interesting because they need to respond. There has to be a response, and there will be a response. There will be a response to this. Just like they've got Edge having his first match going up against NXT, they had to know that WWE were going to do something. I don't know that they would have expected it to be this big. I didn't expect it to be this big. I thought that NXT would do something. But John Cena, Cody Rhodes making a major announcement. Asuka competing in a match. I mean, the Paul Heyman thing might have been a little bit of a letdown at the end, considering what we had, Maybe they could have saved the John Cena news or the Cody news. Maybe you could have had, Paul Heyman respond to the Cena news earlier and then saved the Cody news as the last thing. Bang. So I feel like the Cody news is bigger than the Heyman news. But it's all big news. But there will be a response to this by AEW. And it's going to be very interesting to see what that response looks like tomorrow. I wonder if there'll be a major announcement from Tony Khan. I did say that in the video. When I think major announcements, I think Tony Khan. So if Cody's making a major announcement, then I feel like it's only right that Tony should respond with a major announcement of his own. I need to get an image of Dominik winning as well. Let's find a Dirty Dominik video. Dirty Dom winning back the belt. Kian says 9. Danas11 says 8. Heyman gets threatened live and Roman or Jimmy comes out. It's not impossible, said George Vlog. Do you know what? That is true. People may tune in to see if Roman is going to make an appearance. But I think if Roman's going to be on the show, I think you would announce Roman. I think you would announce Roman if Roman is going to be on the show. Is it, at what point does NXT start to really cement itself around that kind of 800, that kind of AEW level, you know, that Dynamite level? We've already seen it get to 800,000. It had a horrible dip last week to 600,000. That was bad. But, I mean, it ain't doing 600,000 next week. Even if people are watching AEW, I've got to think they're flipping the channel over and watching NXT as well. Who wants to miss that next week from WWE? Big, man. Big. Carmen Live, shout out to you. Tony is making a TV special now for next Tuesday. Yep. Absolutely. It'll be Fighter Fest, Spring Break-In, Fight for the Fallen, Blood and Guts special. Cody announced that he's going to be on the following SmackDown. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Just want to let you know I'll be here on Friday. Wrestling has one royal family. Tahil said it's not even close. What are we talking about? The scores? I haven't seen the scores. We've already had people putting in their votes. 69% say NXT. What I would say, though, is that if we was to run this poll tomorrow, I'd imagine it would be a little different. I'd imagine the NXT Ultras, the NXT Hardcore are with us right now. So, and certainly off the back of them announcements. It'll be interesting to run this poll again tomorrow to see if it's shifted. But as of right now, 70% NXT, 9% AEW, 18% both. Can I just say, I have nothing but love for the 3% of people that voted neither. You're my people. You're my people. After seeing those announcements, they have decided to click on the neither button. I love that. Whoever you are, I'm with you. You're my kind of cats. NXT, AEW, both. None of them. And off they go. Love it. Wrestler Andy said Hogan versus Flair. One more match next week on NXT. Let's go. And it's also going to be revealed who threw the pie at Kevin Owens. We're finally going to get that answer next week on NXT. Any question you've got about WWE, Vince is going to be live next week taking your questions. Any question you've got about anything that's happened in the history of WWE, next week, live, CM Punk returns to WWE on NXT. We unveil our newest signing for NXT, CM Punk. Wow. Conservative, shout out to you, said, I don't know why, but I feel like WWE is waiting for AEW to respond, and then they're going to announce Roman on Friday for NXT. Well, do you know what? It's really not a bad shout because they've laid the table, haven't they? They've set the table with the Paul Heyman situation, you know? It ain't going to take much for them to have a look and see what gets announced on Dynamite, where if they really do want to stick it to I mean they already have, but if they want to put that final piece in place of having Roman on the show, you know, they can have a look and see what's been announced and then make that call for Friday. And the great thing is that their premium live event is also on at the same time as Collision. That is going to be the last chance for AEW to advertise some on their shows before Tuesday, whereas WWE have got the Monday show, they've got Raw. They can always use Raw to announce something for NXT. They can always use the Fastlane show to announce some extra for NXT. If they want to go bigger, if they really wanted to go bigger, if they really wanted to add Roman, add Bloodline, and go bigger, they have got an opportunity to do it. They have set themselves an opportunity, and they've got plenty of TV time and premium live event time where they can do it. So, yeah, do you know what? It's a really good shout. They very much could, if they look at what gets announced tomorrow by AEW and they for some reason think that they might be lacking They look at what gets announced. They're like, not sure John Cena's going to be enough. I'm not sure that a major announcement from Cody Rhodes is going to quite do it. If that is going to be the case, then they could always go bigger. There is an opportunity to go bigger. Oh, man. Honestly. Amazing. Amazing. We're eating good, aren't we? Also, Jade Cargill's going to debut in her first match against NXT legend Charlotte Flair, WWE legend Michelle McCool, and Impact champion Trinity next week on NXT. Guys, breaking news. Undertaker is returning next week on NXT. Let's go. I'm hearing we're going to redo Hell in a Cell from 1998. Undertaker versus Mankind one more time. Next week on NXT. Let's go, man. Let's go. Undertaker, Halloween Havoc, said Michael. Well, do you know what? I mean, it really depends as to whether, you know, are AEW going to make a habit of this? Are AEW going to, like, be moved to Tuesdays? This is a very strong warning from WWE. This is, don't you dare think of coming to Tuesdays. Don't you dare think this is even an option, right? You stay on Wednesdays. Yeah, that's you've got that slot. That's your slot. Don't you dare move and come opposite us, because we will go big time. Big time Bex. Big. WWE has never sold before this year for the first time, says Juan. All this for 20... Oh, no, man. Can you imagine the demand for tickets? Oh, my God. Can you imagine that? I bet their flipping ticketing service is going to go down. All of a sudden, like, you know, 1,000 people that tried to get the 200-odd tickets. It's going to be like flipping WrestleMania numbers trying to get into that room. It's going to be standing room only. Amazing. You could do that in an arena. Easy. 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 Put that in an arena with Cody making a big announcement. John Cena on the show. Asuka competing in a match. I'm sure Becky will be on the show as well. Baron Corbin, maybe. I don't know if Baron Corbin's going to be... he'll probably have a confrontation with Ilya Dragunov. I mean, to be honest, this is pretty stacked for a Raw or a SmackDown, let alone an NXT. I mean, one thing I will say, and I'm just going to interject with just a little bit of a... Let's just recognize that there is going to be a lot of developmental talent that are going to be kind of sat backstage going, so what about us? I thought this was the developmental show for us. Shut up! Shut up! There's a war going on! You're not a strong enough soldier yet, so shut up! And just applaud for John Cena. So, part of me does feel a little bit sorry for them. Oh my God, perhaps we'll get Cora Jade and her new boobs. Perhaps that'll be on next week's show as well. I tell you what, put Cora Jade and her new boobs up against Edge in his first match. I know what I'm watching. Yeah, there's no time for them. Lol, says... Yeah. No time for any of them. You're going to sit there in catering and you're going to enjoy it, right? They will fill the stands with the developmental wrestlers. Yeah. This genuinely is something that I don't think we can do on a regular basis. But in all fairness, this is genuinely something we don't need to do on a regular basis because of the fact that... you know, as we said, this is going to be a bit of a one-off because AEW is going up against them next week. So, to my knowledge, I don't think this is something that's going to happen. Well, that'll be interesting, actually. I'm only aware of this one occasion, but what if it is going to be like once a month or something along those lines? Because I could see WWE going this hard every time this happens going forwards. Like, there is going to be no lying down by WWE. There is going to be no inch given. So, I don't think this is going to be a regular thing, but it's really going to depend on how many times AEW are going to switch over to a Tuesday. Rock versus Roman live next week on NXT. Rock versus Roman Reigns live next week on NXT. Yeah. Yes, love it. If AEW moves to Tuesdays, then make NXT 3 hours. Bring Jade Cargill out during Cody's announcement and then bring Brandy out, said Alex. Oh my God. Jade's first match against Brandy Rhodes. Let's go. Definitely here for that. Wrestling Guy said, WWE never backs down. WWE runs the wrestling planet. Trini said, we know Vince don't play about his money. He'll play with his morals, not his money. They'll go hard at AEW if this war for real. Yeah. Good point. The bikini contests are going to return next week. Oh my God. Let's go. Let's go. We're bringing back the Attitude Era. Stone Cold's going to be on the show. We're going to have Cora Jade taking on Lola Vice in a bra and panties match. It's the Attitude Era all over again. Breaking news. Nia Jax is going to announce My Hole on NXT next week. Let's go. It's funny that that's her catchphrase, isn't it? Of all the things that I would imagine her catchphrase is sorry, actually. The amount of times she has to say it to different wrestlers. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. That's Nia Jax's catchphrase. And also My Hole. Cody smashes another throne with a sledgehammer. Brandy has never been in WWE, but why, says Wan. Well, she was a ring announcer, wasn't she? She used to do Samantha Irvin's job. Mitchell said, don't miss my super chat, Mitchell. Thank you. I may have missed it. Mitchell said Kenny Omega is going to appear via Thunderdome screen for the second week next week on NXT. Let's go. Let's go. I really don't need I really don't need Thunderdome screens coming back. But yeah, wow. Message sent, isn't it? Message sent. A really fun episode of NXT. Super easy to watch. Loads of little bits happening. Obviously, we got the announcement of Asuka next week. Loads of massive announcements for next week. Next week is the one that's like really got the attention, but we can't ignore that this was a solid week as well. And we can't ignore this moment, which I still need to do a video on. This moment right here, a moment that I wasn't expecting. Dominik getting that championship back after Trick Williams had managed to get that title, and people were really pleased for him. Like, yeah, this is his chance. Let's build him up. No, that wasn't the strategy at all. That would mean surely that Judgment Day are on the show next week. Actually, thinking about it, has that happened because of next week? I mean, he didn't need the title to be on the show next week, I suppose. So not necessarily. But that almost guarantees Dom on the show next week. And if Dom's on the show, Rhea's on the show, maybe you got Finn and Damien. I mean, they were there this week. They've been there many weeks. It really wouldn't surprise me if they're on the show, all of them next week as well. So we could be looking at Asuka, Heyman, Judgment Day, Baron Corbin, Becky Lynch, John Cena, Cody Rhodes. Amazing. Right, I'm going to run off and work on that video. James said, Thunderdome was the greatest era ever. Said absolutely no one. Yes, very good. Very good. Dominik versus a hologram of Eddie Guerrero next week. Oh, God, these are good, man. I don't want to go because these are so good. I feel like there's definitely a lot of value in people just announcing different things for next week. Big matches and big moments. God bless you all. God bless you all. Right, we are back tomorrow for AEW, and we're going to see how they respond. How do they respond? And they will respond. If you're a WWE fan, I'm pretty sure you're giddy tonight. But AEW fans, I don't think they need to worry too much because there will be a response to this by AEW tomorrow. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what that is. And then, obviously, We'll see if WWE respond to the response. All I know is that next Tuesday is completely unmissable. There's an argument next Tuesday is bigger than next Monday or next Friday. So, yeah, that is... Oh, God, what a weekend. We got Fastlane this weekend. Fastlane. Then on Monday, we got Raw. Then on Tuesday, we got this monstrous version of NXT. And I would imagine a monstrous AEW as well. So, man, we eating goods. As wrestling fans, we eating goods. So, right, have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you... enjoyed the stream, and as we said, we are back again tomorrow to see what AEW do in response to the massive announcements made tonight by NXT and WWE. Awesome. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.